Alright folks, let's get this over with. This is going to be a long part. I'm going to warn you right now. It's going to take half an hour to do this. Oh. Alright, in the base we're just going to cap off Edward here before we change his class to Swordmaster. Give him some good bonus experience levels. So he has some pretty decent defense for his class. Just give the rest of it to Jill. We're going to start taking skills off. I believe I take off Tormod's skill. Yeah, and I decided on second thought, yeah, to give Jill Paragon instead for no reason. We did take Celerity off Tormod, right? Giving this to Nolan in advance. Giving Soth pass so he can go past people. Please tell me I did that. Ugh. It's annoying me. I don't think I did. Because I'm a doof. It's right there! It's right there! Take Celerity! And since this is the final map the Dawn Brigade gets to make anything, you better make something with it. And I decided, I think that, yeah... Wait, did I make something? Yeah, I made a lance, that's right. Now it's time to show you... Wait, no, I didn't use the coin, did I? In the name of Alan, we shall avenge his death. Yes, now we're using a coin. You can get various effects from more amount to less weight to more crit to nothing. Axe of D! We are Yu-Gi-Oh cards now. Axe of Grundir! Why did I even name this again? I can't spell or decide anything. There we go. Axe of Wrath. Because Wrath totally used axes, right guys? You heard it here first. Wrath the Nomad used axes. Take off Celerity! Ah ha 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 ha! You didn't take off Celerity, you idiot! Every comment on this part. Okay, usually what you do is you take off Tormod's Celerity, give it to Ileana to give to Ike's group, because Ileana's ditching after this part too. Usually I have her take stuff, but this time I decided not to. In this segment, you get everyone except Torneo, you even get the Black Knight. Do you want Nala? Yes, you want Nala. We don't need Morum, even though I like Morum a lot. It's my favorite Lagoos. This map is freaking gigantic. You're working your way up a huge castle. We're barely into this, but let's start anyways. Oh my god, this is gonna take forever. Now, we should have used the Master Seal on Edward, but I figured, nah, we can get one more level out of him before we do that. Mistake! But yeah, there is a lot of levels, a lot of layers to this. You usually actually want to give pass to Nala in this map, so she can just run up the middle here without having to deal with a lot of enemies, because they stall her quite a bit. Our main source of healing is going to be Micaiah and her sacrifice or items, which is going to be rather unfortunate. Decide to have her on the low ground because the archer might go for her. Now there's going to be constant groups of enemy reinforcements coming from the bottom, and you want to leave 2 or 3 people down here, typically. Let's deal with that as it comes, though. Usually I tend to leave the Black Knight or Tormod down here. But in this case, nah. Oh no, he dodged. Friggin' ow. These guys all decide to jump down because they're idiots. Ooh, my time to shine again. It's time to nuke people with 40 freaking damage. Ugh. So, how was your Thanksgiving? Because I'm pretty sure this is way after Thanksgiving. It's probably going to be more closer to Christmas, but whatever. The enemies here are nothing to be scoffed at, even the tier 1s. Although even if you do have reliable hit rates on them, they tend to dodge anyways, because screw your logic. Volug, as ever, is very reliable of hitting people, so yeah. Volug and Aaron is a pretty decent team up on, like, any enemy. Because at least they can be relied on to hit most of the time. Okay, we didn't need that, but that was cool anyways. Ah, time to climb the stairs. Now, here was my idiotic move. Should have moved up to make, you know, what's-her-face, Nala move again. But, yeah, bad idea. This entire map was me being a doofus again. These thieves will go for all the chests. There are a couple chests that are quite honestly useless. At this point I realized I done goofed, so I sent Soth up here just to try to go past him. Although, I do tend to use this first chest as a lure for enemies. Now, while the Black Knight can solo everyone here, not everyone else can do that, so... we want more people down here doing stuff, so we decide to have everyone else come down. We have Raphael, so it's not like it's a big issue. on if we don't kill them all in one go, because we can always just move back into position, so we can. Just keep Jill away from the Thunder Mages and we're good. Also, if you're in, I almost said Leonardo, Raphael's aura range, he will heal you by a slight amount. I believe it's his magic count. Jill can use lances, but it's not really going to see much use. I believe it's at this point I realized I didn't take off celerity because it's just like, ah! Wow, that hit rate is bonkersly low. Bonkersly low. That's a new term. Also, don't make wild movements like that in an Iron Man. That's not exactly the best idea. Just leave it to the Black Knight for now, and then we'll all charge later. Basically the mentality I was going with at that point. Because that Wind Mage with Elwind is kind of annoying. Although these axe guys are quite easy to deal with. Unfortunately, Soth can't quite kill the guy, so yeah, that's not good. But Tormod can, because he can defy logic. Well, why not? Try it anyways. Oh, it worked. We're good at this. Oh, these guys have venom, which is poison. Should probably explain how poison works. It lasts from 1 to, like, it lasts 5 turns. It does around 1 to 4-ish damage. But what I didn't talk about earlier is that sacrifice acts as restore, making the staff nearly useless. Actually, it's not that useless, but in comparison to what it usually is, if Micaiah can just sacrifice and get rid of status ailments, this is even when people don't have, like, losses in HP, she can just heal their status for free. It's kind of amazing. It's gonna come in handy in the later chapters, too. Why not? More experience. Oh no, not a completely useless item. Now the card items, they allow you to do a magical attack no matter what character you are. The problem is most of them, like I think every card actually, is so pathetically weak they aren't worth using whatsoever. The guy up there has a longbow, so he has pretty decent high ground advantage with that thing, but unfortunately for him we also have a Black Knight. These enemies are starting to get really actually decent hit rates on Volug too, so his tankiness might not prevail. That's what happens when you walk up close to the Black Knight, though. Watch out for these slippery brutes. Time to go get some tea. I can't even do a British accent to the point I didn't even try. Okay, so was that necessary? Yes, it was. Oh, yay, we got said useless item. Now, if you trick that healer into de-equipping his physics staff, which is a staff that can heal from a set distance and not just up close, you can actually steal it with someone. I mean, by someone, I mean Soth. But getting him to do that is kind of tricky. And it's time consuming. Micaiah, the moral leader, who sacrifices her own life to save people. There's quite a few good items up there. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get them all. I'm already going to say that because... frickin' frick. Did I plan this next move poorly? They keep sending reinforcements into our face. We do have spots where we can climb up now, at least. Let's send Volug up there, even though, you know, there's something we should avoid with Volug that's up there, but I temporarily forgot it existed. There is a spellcaster up there with the spell Meteor. Meteor is a long-distance fire spell, and as we've established, fire spells hurt. Beast Lagoos is not pretty. Also, Soth missing an 88% also not pretty. That alone just ruined my chances of getting a good chunk of the items. Let me just tell you that right now. These guys are just waiting because I am lazy. They sure would be good up on the front lines up there. But nah, we need to give everyone else experience, obviously. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Not that it matters, though. We succeed. That chest isn't so good, but... ugh. There's even more enemies. These guys have steel great lances, among other things. Great lances are basically the lance equivalent to the blade weapons, which iron and so-called blades are actually like on steel tier. So steel tier great weapons or blades or poleaxes are on the same strength category as a silver weapon, technically. They just have a lot less accuracy and they're really freaking heavy. But this is where things start going bad. First of all, we lose one of our knives, and I didn't equip all the stuff properly. Sheen. Well, that was effective. Okay, good. We made up for it. She's picking the strength back up, folks. She's picking it up. There you go. Fire's good against wind, weak against thunder. There for you people who, like, forgot or may have not known the magic triangle. There's part of it. Oh my gosh. This comedy of errors, though, is kind of amazing. Also, I will note that after part 1 is done, which is this chapter, that there will be a temporary reprieve from FE10 for a while. It's gonna be on like a hiatus because these post commentary videos actually take a lot out of me because they take a long time, especially this one. This one, like this stage's length is going to be the norm when we get to part 3. So when we get to part 3, yeah, I want my reprieves before we get to part 3. Part 2 is kind of a mix. So is it parkour, though? No, we haven't been running up very much. Here they come. But yeah, we're in a very awkward position right now. And they keep getting stuff. Parody's not that good of a skill, though. It just makes it so when you activate it, both you and your opponent don't have any advantages whatsoever. There's Meteor. So yeah, parody is basically the equalizer skill. It's the mano a mano skill when you want to, you know, deal with stuff. There's also something I haven't quite brought up yet, but in the top left you'll notice an element. And characters of that element are a little better on each stage, depending on what the affinity they are. I have not noticed that much of a significant difference. There's also another thing in the game called biorhythm, which it changes every turn and every character has different rates of biorhythm, which is a thing. You can look it up. So certain turns, characters are actually better or worse. It's actually kind of key for like stuff like LTC and stuff, to know when characters are good or at their worst for biorhythm, because it does affect hit rates. This seems like a good idea, right? I mean, the meteor guy's gone. Almost done, folks. We're almost done with this chapter. I will say I do kind of like this very tower-esque map, though. It really utilizes the high ground, low ground stuff that I like in this game quite a bit. And, well, Nala might be wasting a lot of experience right now. I'm preferring to be safe. Same with the Black Knight, really. Although that's kind of funny, that advantageous position for Soth. Ah. Ow. Now here's my folly, is because I'm not confident enough in Soth to really charge up to the right to stop the thief from getting the good stuff on the right. Also, Volug's really hurt, so I was kind of hurting for a quick solution. Even though there's plenty of them. Good level for Nolan. One shot the steel Great Lance. Maiden, take no risks like you just did right there. Take out the mage. And yeah. The boss has a throwaway weapon, so putting Soth there would have been really bad. Here's the crux. Miss. Must heal even more. Ha! Ow. And why did I do that? Who knows? And this might look bad, and it is, believe me. Yeah, that risky move almost got me to restart this chapter, and there are rules for if I have to reset a chapter in an Ironman. I'd have to randomly kill off one of my people. RNG'd. There, well, actually, yeah, Vantage isn't as good as I thought that was something else, wow. Enemy reinforcements! More of them. But yeah, the mages don't move, so that's a thing. I think Vola can hit everything. At this point, I decided to send Edward Nolan down to go head off those guys. Because they have an easy high ground location. It's also at this point I decide, yeah, you know what, let me just go get those other chests. Probably a good idea. Just saying. Stabby. Is that the same as Jack Sparrow's Stabby? Stabby? Ah! Take down the people who actually move. Because that's the smart thing. Let's use the least amount of power we can. Obviously, that's a good idea. Are we there yet? Oh yeah, 150 damage. Obviously, a boost. You know, we've been waiting down here for a long time. We should probably head back up. Well, you don't need to. Everyone else needs the experience, brah. Remind me never to say that again. Oh yes, attack the mighty Black Knight from above. I'm sure you have the moral high ground. Yes, attack the Queen of the Wolves. I'm sure you have the moral high ground. Now for killing this guy, we're only going to get one of his items. I could have just cornered him, but I'm silly. So yeah, we get the coin. Obviously the most valuable item, right? Right? Not like the skills were particularly good, though. Let's give him hell, Nolan. At this point, I realized I should have just given Edward the other kill. So he would have been level 20, but it doesn't matter. We'll fix that in part 3. And with this, we're going to let the Black Knight finish the boss off with animations on. I love the animations of this game, and I'm only going to show them here because it's awesome. And the Black Knight, you know, just decides to accompany me on this show off. He activates Eclipse just for you folks. Oh. Oh. And with that, part 1 is finally at a close. At long last, and we have Speedwing, thank goodness. Okay, with that, part 1 has been complete. I hope you join me again next time. Oh wait, yeah, Micaiah promoted. Here's her stats. Kinda nice.
While Dale celebrates its rebirth, rebellion spreads across neighboring Crimea. The young Queen Alincia holds the throne, but her nation is in turmoil. She begins to doubt her ability to rule. What will become of her country? Part 2 of Countries and Kings.